Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2019 City of Columbus Veterans Appreciation Day event. My name is Zane Jones. I am the Veteran Services Coordinator. Please rise as we post the colors. The colors are going to be posted today by the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, and then the National Anthem sung by our very own Rob McNeil. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. All right, so everybody, let's give first a round of applause for the award-winning ODRC Honor Guard. And where is Rob so I can embarrass him? Rob, I don't know what you do in development, but it's probably not your calling. Give him a round of applause, everybody. Okay, so thank you again very much for your attendance today. The purpose of today's event is pretty simple. Before the hectic and hopefully enjoyable Veterans Holiday, we want to come together on that Thursday as a family, veterans who have served in uniform and are currently serving with the City of Columbus, just to take a moment to thank you very much for that service, have a nice meal together, and connect you with the community. So we're very blessed in the City of Columbus when it comes to veteran service organizations. There are over 150 veteran service organizations that work in this city, and they offer over 300 additional programs. And that's just tremendous. And what we did today is we brought together the all-star team, and thank you very much before you got food to walk through to each one of these organizations, but I just want to share a little bit about what they do because they're here for you, and you might not know that they exist. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. It's the best tip of the iceberg, but it's just the tip. And these people are working both for the benefit of veterans, so all of you here, but then all of you that are looking to serve in addition to that, you can come together, join their organization, and work for the benefit of the community. So starting in the back, we have Vet Motorsports. Vet Motorsports is, raise your hand when I call your thing so everybody knows what we're talking about and you guys can watch. So Vet Motorsports is the premier organization for veterans who are interested in getting involved in the motorsports and also be a part of a team. So they'll put you in part of a crew, put you behind the wheel. It's a wonderful organization, and we're very blessed to have them here in Columbus. The Franklin County Veterans Service Commission, please stand up. Franklin County Veterans Service Commission, perhaps you saw their ad during the Final Four, but they have two primary missions. The first is emergency financial assistance, and the addition is to help you submit your service claim with the VA, among a couple other things. So if you know somebody who hasn't submitted their claim or needs to submit a disability claim, or somebody who needs emergency financial assistance, they are your folks. Immediately to their left is Heather from the Veteran Arts Initiative from the Columbus VA. Fantastic organization if you want to get involved in leather making, if you want to sing, if you want to act, if you want to paint, any of that. If you have that little talent like Rob, you got to connect. You got to sing with them. Heather's your person, you want to go over there. We have Eddie with the Columbus VA, so Columbus VA Medical, the fantastic five-star facility that we have here in Columbus. If you aren't already enrolled, you should be enrolled, so walk back there and fill out your 1010 Easy with Eddie. Next is going to be Team Red, White, and Blue. If you're interested in joining an organization, this is with families too, so you can bring your family to do sports and social activities. Team RWB is your group. You want to go back there and see Robin. They also have the best Nike clothes around. Next, the premier and really only National Veterans Memorial Museum. So if you are here and you want to honor, connect, educate, and inspire, this is in our backyard. We're very, very blessed to have this on the other side of the river from City Hall. So please, if you haven't done that back there, go back and join for their inaugural membership drive that they're having. Andrea with Columbus Citywide Development. So professional and personal development here at the city. It is complimentary to you, and for your family, it's at a discounted rate. Go back and see Andrea. The mission continues. We have Eric. So they are an organization if you want to continue to give back. You've already given back in the military. You're giving back with the City of Columbus. You're not done. You go back there, you go to the mission continues. They're working on the south side for food security, and they also have a women's leadership program. Right, Eric? All right, next. Save a Warrior, located in Newark, Ohio. This is a nationwide, universally recognized organization that's a center for excellence for veterans who are struggling with anxiety, depression, or post-traumatic stress. They have Warrior Village, which is a beautiful village just outside Newark, Ohio. If you or someone you know or love is struggling with anything like that, or they're living with it, or dealing with it, go over there and see Adam and help them take their life back. No joke. Millspin. So Millspin is devoted to generating American manufacturing jobs, and they are 100% veteran. They were here last year. They have a great truck. If you have a grill, if you have a Harley and you want to customize it, they can probably mill it. So they don't laser etch it, they mill it. And next, the last, definitely not least, and we all know what they do, Bravo Company 219 Special Forces Group. They were here last year. They brought in their laser, some other cool toys like thermals and night vision. So on your way out, before you leave, please go up, thank them, because they're serving as well, and check out some of the cool gear that they have. So that is just a taste. It's the best taste, but that's just a taste of what the City of Columbus has to offer you in terms of veteran service organizations. So with that, we'd like to get our program started, so please join me in welcoming, fresh off his election win on Tuesday, Council Member Emmanuel Remy. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Zane. What a great day to have all of you here to get together and have a meal and to thank you. Thank you for your service and thank you for working for the City of Columbus, making it a better place to be. I happen to chair the administration committee, which falls over HR, and certainly we want to make sure that you guys feel that this is an awesome place to work, and we believe that we're doing so. I want to thank Zane for all his contributions to really beefing up this area within the City of Columbus. Earlier this year, I had the opportunity, thanks to Zane, to ride on a Blackhawk and be involved at the Ohio National Guard as an employer, the City of Columbus being an employer, talking about how that we can best communicate that to service members that the City of Columbus is a great place to work. And so it was very enlightening to have that opportunity to do that, and of course a lot of fun to be able to ride around in one of those things. So, but we want to make sure that you feel that the City of Columbus is one of the best places to be. So hopefully you feel that way. If not, you always reach out and we can talk about that a little bit more. But I have the pleasure of not only thanking all of you, but to introduce our next speaker. Thank you for lunch today, by the way, Mr. Tom Kraus, the president and CEO of Donato's, and also the Pizza Slayer. I think that is his newest title, but certainly we want to thank him for lunch and having some of the best pizza that there is, not only in Columbus, but in America. So it's my pleasure to welcome Tom Kraus.
Thank you again. Thank you so much for inviting me back. Apparently the singing wasn't that bad last year, right? We did okay. I was going to bring the jazz flute today, but thank you for not. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I am so honored, and I keep telling everyone this is one of my favorite days of the year. So appreciative to be back here and to be able to recognize all of you. You know, Donato's was started 56 years ago by my father-in-law with a real simple premise, and that is, yes, we serve pizza, but it's bigger than the pizza. And the idea is really to do good with our people, our customers, our neighborhoods, do good in our communities that we serve, and to be able to serve those who have served others is the highest honor for us. And your service is really the highest form of doing good. And so we want to thank you on behalf of Donato's. We want to thank you for your military service. We want to thank you for your civil service. And we really appreciate being a part of this event. So thank you very much. And with that, I have the honor of introducing Lieutenant General Michael Ferreter, who has brought this amazing facility, the Veterans Museum, here to Columbus. It's quite a jewel, and he is quite a leader. So ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant General Michael Ferreter.
Well, it's a great day to be a veteran, especially great to be a veteran here in Columbus, Ohio. And someone asked me, so where are you from? And I said, I'm from Columbus, Ohio. It's my new hometown. And this person said, really, you grew up here? I said, no, but we all know as veterans, home is where the Army or the Navy or the Air Force or the Coast Guard or the Marines sends you. And you get into that community, and that's where you're going to raise your kids, and your spouses are going to work, and your friends for life are going to be. So it's great to be mayor in my hometown of Columbus, Ohio today. And I got to tell you, I've been a lot of places, and it's not in my remarks. I've been in a lot of places. In a lot of cities. Margie's here with me. We moved about 20 times in 35 years of service. I've never seen an outreach to veterans. I've never felt the family vibe that you feel here anywhere. And I came from Columbus, Georgia, and Fort Benning, and it's a great place to be. But even the number of times that I was there and the fact that I commanded Fort Benning, there's nothing like what I'm seeing today or that we felt in our 17 months here. Thank you all for joining today, and thank you for allowing Margie and I to join as well. Congratulations to Mayor Ginther and everyone who was successful in their bids for re-election. You know, management is what you do, and leadership is who you are. And in this amount of time, I've seen a great leader in Mayor Ginther, and I look forward to working with you and your team and the Franklin County team and the governor's team to take care of people like these men and women in front of us and anyone else that we can help. So if you are an Air Force veteran, let me hear from you. Air Force? Navy? Coast Guard? Who? The United States Marine Corps? And the Army. I'm just saying. I also want to really highlight what Zane said about these veteran service organizations and the veteran services of Franklin County, the city, and the VA with Heather back there. You should not suffer, and you should not suffer in silence. Everybody's working an issue. You know, the big issue could be drop 3 more pounds before a reunion, right? And that could seem to be an issue, or there could be more severe issues. But you've got the first string and the all-stars of taking care of people. Can you imagine being someone, well, first of all, you do. You wake up every morning as an employee of this city, and you say, there's people out there that we serve and we got to take care of. And then there's others that are waking up every day thinking there's someone out there that I got to get to. There's a sense of these veteran service organizations. I got to find you. So help them find you. More importantly, you know friends and colleagues that can be referred to them in a most private way to help them get to the next step of their life. So let's give a big round of applause to these men and women. Now, a year ago, a national treasure opened in this city. It's called the National Veterans Memorial and Museum, and it is the nation's first and only museum dedicated to telling the story of you and your experience. Show of hands if you visited there already. Okay. Times are busy. Vacation time's coming up, holiday season. Come and see it. It will roll your socks down. You will be surprised. These guys from the 19th Special Forces Group and I'm an Army Ranger. We're kind of not history people and book readers. And so when they hired us to come into town, Margie and I to come to town, we came because we knew it was something that would be impactful in lives while it told your story. So please come and see it as soon as you can. I encourage you to bring your loved ones and to share your experiences. We see that when you walk in there, many of us don't want to talk about our service with our teenage kids or with our neighbors. And we get to see everybody open up every single day and say, what this is about is this, you know. So, like raise your hand if you had the friendliest drill sergeant or drill instructor on earth. Right, okay. We got that going for us too. We're a museum like no other. We take visitors through a multimedia narrative journey told by veterans of military service and then how we return to life. And when you return to what you're doing in the city of Columbus right now, you're infusing that leadership and that spirit and that teamwork and that never quit attitude into your peers and friends and teams to make things better. We offer a wide range of programming for you to take care of. Fantastic ceremonies like we had the 9/11 in partnership with the city and with Franklin County, the Rooftop Memorial Day service, veteran voices and panels where many of these men and women have been there to be helpful. We brought in my friends from our battle in Mogadishu, and I wasn't there at D-Day, so we brought in some World War II vets. We share intimate experiences. Every first Saturday of the month, we do a thing called Rally Point, and we'll have programming or assistance. But Rally Point, as we all know, that's where you go back. It was the last place that things were squared away before you got hit and you had a firefight or something. So Rally Point's there to connect veterans with veterans. And we ask these questions: where are you sleeping? And if the answer is, I'm in a car, then we're going to take care of them. And we ask the questions, where you're working? And often it's, I just got into town. And so then we connect with the employers and with the leaders of the town to take care of you. So for veterans and non-veterans alike, the museum provides a great platform. The National Veterans Memorial Museum is a powerful reminder that freedom is never free. And I prefer when people say thanks for your service to you, that they really say thanks for my freedom. Because there's a lot of people who are serving, and it's noble, but nothing like what you've done. The stories of the veterans told through the museum demonstrate the power of people coming together for the good of the nation. And there's much, much more that bonds Americas than divides us, actually. None of this would have been possible without the vision of Senator Glenn and the leadership of this community, and so I always praise how you got this done. And when the question was asked in Washington, D.C., why don't you build the National Veterans Memorial Museum in D.C.? And the answer is because Columbus cares enough to do it now. We're building it. When they had that discussion, we built it, we've opened it, and now with the greatest team on earth, I've been fortunate to run it for a year and a week, and we're on our way. We have, and I like these words in this speech. In closing, I want to encourage you and your loved ones to come see us. Sunday at 9, the National Veterans Memorial and Museum 5-mile run and walk will commence. So I will say, runners, take your mark, go, and then I'll run, and then I'll change my clothes and get ready for the Ford Oval of Honor ceremony, where once again the Ford companies come together to honor our very distinguished veterans from World War II, from Korea and Vietnam, and now we're starting to get towards Desert Shield, Desert Storm, Grenada, Panama, Mogadishu, and this war. On Monday at 2 p.m., we'll have a Veterans Day ceremony. Senator Portman will be there, along with Army General Dan Allen, my friend, and the Ohio Secretary of State, and one or two other notables. So it's a great day to be with you. It's a wonderful life to be in Columbus, Ohio. And I'd just like to thank you for what you've done and for my freedom. And with that, I'd like to welcome to the podium the Veterans Committee Chair, Council Member Mitchell Brown. Thank you.
Thank you, General. Again, I'm Mitchell Brown. I'm the chairman of the Veterans Committee. But I'd like to take a moment and acknowledge, I see our city attorney back there, Zach Klein. Please raise your hand, Zach, and acknowledge yourself. Okay? A round of applause for our city attorney, folks. On behalf of my colleagues on City Council and Council President Hardin, I'd like to thank you all for being here and for your service to our country and our community. I'd like to also recognize recently elected, again, Councilor Emmanuel Remy. He sits across from me on City Council, and we make faces at each other, depending on what the subject matter may be. Same way I did when I was in the military, except my drill sergeant said, "You do that one more time, Brown, and guess what? I know where I'm going to put your face." I understand, sir. You may be surprised to find that 10% of the city employees identify as veterans, active duty service members. 10%. While this number is higher than the average for an employer of our size, I believe the City of Columbus provides a special opportunity for those with military experience to continue their commitment to service. Columbus values veteran employees for their principles, the principles you bring to the workplace and the community. The core values instilled by military service align with the careers in public service. Whether you're a code enforcement officer whose attention to detail ensures our neighborhoods are safe and clean, a refuse employee who appreciates the importance of reliability, professionalism, and recycling, or a law enforcement officer who provides comfort in times of instability and crisis, or a firefighter who's there to help you when you're in need of the circumstances of tragedy, whether your house is on fire or a medical emergency. Your military experience has prepared you to provide for the common good. As veterans and active duty service members, you know how to get the job done. You understand that it takes a collective dedication to accomplish a common goal. You know that the work you do every day every day impacts on the lives of the residents of the city of Columbus. Just as your dedication extends to your work for Columbus residents, know that my dedication is to you and your families. As your city council member, I will continue to support military leave benefits for those employees in active military service. I want you to know that your families will not experience a financial hardship while you serve our country. I'd like to thank Lieutenant General Farrader and his lovely wife. I met them when they first came here. It's been almost a year now, is it not, General? And he was like, wow, you folks in Columbus are really kind. I said, well, don't worry, hang around for a little while, and we'll see how that plays out. But the General and his wife have adjusted to Columbus, and we're very, very proud to have them here, especially for what they do with regards to today's event. I asked the General would he speak, and he said he would. I was very pleased about that. Then to get a chance to see veterans like you in an everyday capacity. So I applaud him for speaking at today's event. The National Veterans Memorial Museum, if you haven't been there yet, I urge you to visit this exciting addition to our community. The museum does a fine job sharing the stories of those that served. A personal story, when I went with someone, Guy Worley, one of the individuals who were designing the facility, and I couldn't stand inside for a while. And he came back and he said, I forgot, Brown. He said that you served during Vietnam. I said, yes, I did. And it just brought back some memories that were unpleasant. But to go and experience it is really valuable, especially not only for you, but also for your family members. To go, walk around, touch it, feel it, sit outside if you have the opportunity to recognize the importance of the contributions that people have made for our wonderful country. I'd also like to recognize and thank Tom Krause for his continued support and for not playing his guitar. Was it the guitar you played last year? That's okay. We'll take Rob singing anytime. Donatos has been a great partner in recognizing city employees for their service. I'd like to recognize the Department of Human Resources, Director Nikki Brandon, Tina DeFleeter. Where's Tina? Tina's back there in the back. She never likes to get recognized, but let me tell you, folks, the reason why a lot of this is all done is because of Tina. And she did it a long time before anybody really got excited about making sure that we took time to recognize veterans. And also, of course, Zane Jones for his work in putting this event on. I'd also like to mention, they asked me, we have a gift for all of you. This thing is heavy. In fact, I'm thinking about talking to the mayor about putting in our body armor. When you get a chance, before you leave, make sure you get one of the gifts from today. If you remember last year, we gave out the Keystone things for you. And Millspin, in order to be impressive for me, they gave me a hat with the Steeler emblem on it. I know that'll make a few folks boo, but where are you, Romy? I know he's around here somewhere. He's in the back waving. Okay. I got, again, a special hat just for you. But you want to make sure you get one of these gifts before we leave today. It's very, very important. It's a commemorative recognition for all of you for the work and for being here today. It has obviously the mayor's name and the council president's name on it. So before I close, I want to express our appreciation for your service to our country and our service to our city. Columbus is really a great place to live, to work, and to raise a family. And finally, I'd like to thank and recognize our next speaker, Mayor Andrew Ginther, for continuing to prioritize veterans and all service members. With that, I'd like to introduce my friend, Mayor Andrew Ginther. President's later on down the road. Mayor?
Told Councilmember Brown, been there, done that. I like the new job much better. I got the best job in the best city in all of America, and I am so grateful to have called you colleagues in city employment for the last 12 years. You know, one of the things that I discovered once I started working for the city, it just always rubbed me the wrong way, is that we had veterans working on Veterans Day. That just always rubbed me the wrong way. And so one of the first things I did when I became mayor, and the rest of the team will be able to test this, is figure this out. I don't know how we do it. And, you know, there's some fools out there thought that this political correctness move at Columbus Day. This had nothing to do with Columbus Day. This had, for me, to do with the significance of Veterans Day. And I believe passionately that our veterans should have Veterans Day spend with their families and for this community to celebrate your incredible sacrifice on behalf of our freedom. I'm proud that we now make sure that our veterans are lifted up and celebrated on Veterans Day in the city of Columbus. Nearly 10% of our city workforce has served or is currently serving in the military, and I think we could argue that they're some of the best employees because they know what it means to be mission-driven and service-oriented. Columbus, we're committed to creating a dynamic, inclusive future for all of our residents, and our employees hold that mission close to their hearts. I want to recognize those city employees who plan to retire in the next year. Would you please stand? Any folks here that are planning to retire in the next year? Let's give them a round of applause and thank them. This may be your last Veterans Day as an employee, but I want you to know you are always welcome back. And thank you for your service to our country and to our city. More than 200 of our employees serve in the National Guard or a reserve component. Many people in this room have recently returned. In fact, I think I saw Chris Sewell back there somewhere who just came back. Hey, Chris. So this is on you and others. If you are in the National Guard or a reserve unit, will you please stand so we can recognize you? Thank you for your service. And can I ask those of you who have returned in the last year to remain standing or to stand back up? Thank you. Again, we thank you, and we are glad you are at home serving the people of Columbus every day in our neighborhoods across our city. My dad served in the Vietnam War, where he was badly wounded just a few days before my older brother was born in '69. His recovery at Walter Reed Hospital took almost a year. And every week, my mom would pack up that little baby and go with my grandmother to visit him at Walter Reed from Akron, Ohio. They made that trip so that my dad would never forget that he was loved and that his son would know that his father was a hero. My mom died just a few months ago and reminded at times like this about that incredible commitment that they had to each other, an incredible commitment my dad and great veterans like you have to defending and protecting our freedom. I am so proud to call you my colleagues, and I am so glad that we as a city and a community have this time together to celebrate you, to lift you up, and to thank you for providing us our freedom. God bless you. Have a great Veterans Day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please give another round of applause for our speakers today. So an event like this can't really get pulled out without a fantastic team. And so as Councilmember Brown said, I'd like to thank just a handful of people. So the first would be Mary Beth and the Therapeutic Recreation Center for allowing us to come here today to host this, and Team HR. So we've got Steve, Jeff, Tina DeFluter especially. Please make sure you shake her hand to say thank you on her way out because it embarrasses her. Tracy, Talia, Phyllis, Marvin, Lauren, Rick, Alice, Leslie, Becky, Teresa, Cressida, and Lauren, and Andrea. Thank you very, very much for lending a hand to a one-man shop trying to put this on. I really appreciate it. Also, thank you very much to the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. Thank you very much for the National Veterans Memorial Museum. And thank you very, very much to Tom Kraus and Donatos. We always appreciate it very, very much. So before we retire the colors, I just personally want to say thank you. It's a pleasure to work with you every day. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you ever have any questions about how to get involved with the community or anything else related to service if you're in the reserves. So after we retire the colors, my only ask of you is that you'll stand up and make your way to the exit. Feel free to visit the veteran service organizations before you do so, and then make sure you get your gift, and then please get back to work safe and sound and continue serving the city of Columbus. So with that, please rise for the retiring of the colors.
Precinct. Order. Retreat. Colors. Post.
All right, thank you again very, very much. I appreciate your attendance. Please be safe on your way out. Visit the VSOs, grab your gift, and have a wonderful and safe Veterans Day. Thank you.